Hello and welcome to the planning overview of unified solution. So we are into a PPM tool overview project. So we have gone through the initiation and now the current phase, the current workflow stage is S05 project planning. So let's go and see project planning and click on it. So here when we click and access the planning button, so we can basically see a page which has certain tabs. So there is a project status tab and communication matrix tab, deliverables, dependencies, risk, KPI, RASI matrix and documents. So few of the tabs that are coming from the charter and it is there still in planning and it will move on to the execution as well. So this project status is being coming from the charter tab and now it is in planning. The reason behind is keeping is so certain tabs, certain informations will always be an elaborative information. So we may get few ideas during the initiation of the project and we may get something in the planning and during execution also we may have to add certain things to these tabs. So these tabs like project status, deliverables, risks and KPIs will continue with the project till it executes. So since we have already created a sample deliverable in the charter phase, and now if we wanted to elaborate the details of other deliverables, we can come and basically document here. You can go and continue. My project starts from next year, so I'll pick up the future dates and then save. I'll try to modify these dates as well. Go. If you want to modify something which is existing, you select on the tab, but select on the row and edit. Come down and edit and keep some realistic data. And then save. So it will get saved and added up to the deliverables. And now let's go and access the project status. Go and add the status period date. See, my project starts from 1st of Jan. I would have my first status review meeting maybe on the next Sunday. And I would say this project, and you can title the status overview and bring some achievements and plan for the next period. So this is nothing but in the identifying the meeting structure and also the meeting dates, planning the meeting dates and also the agenda, setting the agenda for the meetings, and we can also record the minutes of meeting here in this page. And once everything is done, you keep save, click on the save button so that your meeting date will be saved. Now tomorrow we are having another meeting, maybe after this the first review meeting, maybe my second meeting would be on the third week, third Sunday of the Jan, and then I may give this first. I can give the title of this and the maybe the achievements. And give something like this. Maybe the achievements. You can go and document the achievements, the plan for the next period, or maybe the second review meeting would be my second milestone plan date. Can go and select the second milestone plan date, and then I will have a meeting on that day, and then save it. And in this, if you would have any documents to publish, so please access the documents, all your presentations, PowerPoint presentations and Excel templates and any other things, Word document like minutes of meeting if you record it earlier in the Word. You please come here and say new, and then we can basically add and upload. Give the title of the document, whatever it is, and then upload it. So I just uploaded like this, and I can give the title and save, add as a new version. So, right, and then upload. So such documents will be uploaded and it will be there with the project name. So under the project you can have all your documentation as well. So once you upload your documents, we can also create some, we can plan some risk responses or to create a risk register using this risk button, risk tab, and in any other tab how we are adding, we also need to add some risks using this add button, and you will get this new risk log and go and give the description. Say let's example, so I can identify, we can describe the risk name here and raised date. Maybe during the initial days of my project I would plan this risk, and I will go and give the probability and impact matrix so that it gives you the score of the risk. Okay, and I'll associate with my name, and I'll go and say my mitigation plan like this, and the planned date, mitigation plan right from the day one I should mitigate, and the status is still open. I can see this. If it is closed, risk has not occurred, we can close it. And if risk occurred and it converts into an issue, and we can say the status has moved to issues. And no problem, in the execution phase we also have issues register, and please save after giving the relevant data, and your risk has been saved. Close this window and refresh to see the risk here. And if you see the risk category, it automatically gives you the priority. If you give the probability and impact, so it automatically gives the risk category as high. It is a high category risk. So this risk will continue, will come to the execution as well, and even in the execution also. So in the execution we may have to come and change the status. If it is still open on the particular date, you make it open, or if it is closed, you say close. And if it uh, happened and converts into issue, make it an issue, and document the same in the issue tab. And in the same planning we also have a schedule. See, planning can be in two ways. Most of the people don't have a proper schedule. In it again depends on the project to project. If we are having a detailed project management plan, we can go and access this schedule to prepare the project activities. If you don't have any project activities like a project, if as a PMO, many of our PMOs don't have projects to track, but they will track the project managers and each project manager has its own projects to track. If you are a PMO, good to use this planning features, planning tab, and document all your deliverables like this, and day by day go and track it. If you are a project manager dedicatedly working on a huge project, you go and select your schedule, and your a title of your schedule will come in a Gantt chart mode. So I would call this as a Gantt chart view. It has two sides. On the left hand side is your tabular view. So we need to go to the task ribbon on the top and edit it so that we can start adding the data here. So let me just edit it in the browser. Just go, we can edit either in browser or in also project professional as well. So let me edit it in the browser, and first let me give this as an auto schedule mode. So this particular activity is auto schedule mode. It is now in editable mode. I can start adding tasks like this. I can say and go and give some sample durations. So the start date, the first activity start date will automatically takes up from the charter. In the trigger, we have given the project start date. So automatically that date has come up here. In 2020, I wanted to build this solution. So this is my uh, activities. These are my activities and my durations. And we know how to sequence these things. And you just go and select all the things and use the link. It's basically like waterfall model. So step by step, once the build is done, I'll go and deploy the solution, and after that user acceptance test. So this is how it will be. And we can also have a detailed session on Microsoft Project Professional as a separate video, and let us stick this to the browser itself. So when it goes to the Microsoft Project Professional, we will have a dedicated video to it. So let's, once you build a schedule like this, and straight away on the top you go and publish the project. So you can see the status of the published here. So it is saving and publishing. Both will happen at this phase. Yes. So my project is completed successfully, published, completed successfully. So once you publish your data, please come out of this schedule, because we need to come out of the schedule so that my workflow will move on to the next phase. Otherwise, if we still open this project, your workflow cannot move. So make it a practice. Once you edit your project data, either in professional or in the browser, you make it a practice to publish, and once you publish, you come out of the schedule by clicking close. So while coming out of the schedule, it asks us to check in the project. You always keep check-in. Keep this check-in, say OK. Your project is checking in. So once your project is checking in, you can come and access the project again from here, and you can see the status here that it is checked in, and the last version is published, and the project now is checked in. So now, as usually, you go to the project name on the top to submit the plan. See here, we have already completed the initiation. Currently we are in the planning. So in the planning, what we need to do, we need to submit the plan in order to review it by the sponsor and owner. And let's click on the plan project name and come down and see in your work list your project planning is ready to submit. Let us go and submit. And then, so once we submit it, so please always come back and click on your project name, project title, so that your page will be gets reloaded. And if you observe here, it has gone to review and approve planning. So it just moved into the one more stage. So your owner and your sponsor would get a mail saying that this particular manager has created and submitted his planning. So please go and approve. In my case, so I am the owner. So I would get this planning approval, project owner approve. So now I'll just go and approve the plan. And once we approve it, you please come back and click on your project title, so that your project plan title has moved into this workflow stage is project baseline stage. So what is a baseline? We need to commit the timelines, a budget and timelines to the customer or the client or your senior management. So basically, let's go and see what is there in the baseline. I'll just click. This is not mandatory, but if you want to have a data in it, you just bring in. See here in the project baselines, so we have a project name and no project baseline saved as of now since we didn't do the baseline. And if we do baseline, those dates will come up and occupy here. So it is not enabled now. Currently it is disabled because baseline has to be set with the schedule only. So let's go back and access the schedule in order to set the baseline. Access schedule, and in the task drop down and edit in the browser, and again you access the task and set the baseline here. So you can set the baseline so that your baseline set successfully. So we edited and we did some changes, so we need to publish it. So come here and publish. And after publishing, as I said, we need to come out of the project because it is checked out to you. The status should always be checked in order to move my workflow. I'll come out and say check in. Again, it goes to your project center and click on your project name. See, the status is checked in currently. So now let's go and see the baseline. My dates have come here. So I just did with my baseline. So the next step is to go to your project title. Click on your project title, come down, and your baseline is ready to submit. So in the work list, go and submit your baseline. And now, once it is refreshed the page, it should move to execution path. So I'll just refresh the page by clicking my project title, and I can see my project is in execution stage. The current workflow stage is execution. So we'll have another session on execution overview. Thank you.